psychologist, I'm most interested in the underlying thinking that leads to peace, or obviously its opposite, war. For me, the underlying philosophy of peace is that people feel that they are being treated equitably. Where people feel that they're being treated inequitably is where we start seeing things like war or violence emerging for that. Now, obviously, every single time a person is treated inequitably doesn't mean that that's going to lead to violence. People are treated inequitably all the time, and we don't always treat everyone equitably. But when this carries on for long periods of time by a class of people who are the oppressors and to a class of people who are the oppressed, then we're more likely to see issues of violence and war emerging, the lack of peace coming out of that. Now, I've seen this happen in my own country's history under apartheid, when the elite, which I was part of, was expressing or suppressing the oppressed people within the country. And I see that continuing even now as people have still not been able to get the types of things that they might need. Now, what does this all have to do with technology? Well, in my opinion, technology is actually neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It's how it is being used by people that is important. Historically, technology has been used by the oppressor throughout history as a powerful tool to keep the people oppressed. We can think about technology and war, usually through weapons and how we use weapons to keep people oppressed. This has been the essential purpose of the industrial military complex, to really ensure that power and finances are kept in the hands of the people who are doing the oppressing, and to make sure that people are not violent and rising up against them. But we can also see how that's changing. For example, if you think about the Arab Spring and how a single media posting, social media posting, led to a violent uprising across Arab countries in the Middle East and North Africa. Now, our hope was that that would lead to a positive outcome, but as we've seen, that's led to more violence and more war and a lack of peace in those areas. So it's not that technology is neutral to these issues, but rather that they have a role to play. Now, if we don't do anything about this, technology will continue to be used to oppress. In fact, even now we can think about how social media has allowed lots of people to have voices for relatively cheap, but the oppressor can use monitoring technology to see what is going on. And the oppressed are not immune to this. The oppressed people can use technology for violent ends too. You can think about hacking or alternative forms of expression that also lead to issues about violence. And the important thing about technology then is, just to summarize, is that it is really about the answer isn't technology itself, it's how we look at how people relate to technology and how they use technology that is important.